Finnovation. So lately I've had a lot of fun at the pool blowing underwater ring bubbles. If you don't know what they look like, it looks like this. They're pretty awesome, right? But the obvious question is...
can we make a video about blowing underwater bubble rings?
Yes, we can. So in this video, I'm going to be showing you not one, but two methods. One that's a little easier and one that's a little harder. Now, before this video starts, I do want to say that you should always have someone watching you while you're blowing these bubbles or just swimming in general. So tell an adult before you do this so they don't think you're drowning or anything. Also, a big thank you to Coach Stelter who let me borrow his underwater camera, which we used to film in this episode. Let's get into it.
Okay, now before I give you some tips on actually how to blow the bubbles, if you're not a swimmer, I'm going to give you some just general tips on how you get under the water and just like some ease of blowing the bubbles. So first thing you want to do is get under the water. So when you're doing this, I wouldn't recommend like diving down like a surface dive. I'd recommend kind of going down like feet first. This just makes it easier to equalize your ears. And what equalizing your ears means, that means blowing with your nose like this and going. So basically what that does is it makes your ears at the same pressure as the water so that they don't hurt as much.
But you don't want to be doing that too hard.
Yeah, because if you do this too hard, it can hurt your ears. Also, when you're under the water, the angles you want to be at. I'll explain that right now. Whoa! I'm underwater now. Now, before I tell you what level you should be at, first things first, you definitely need some goggles when doing this. It makes it a lot easier. I wouldn't recommend dollar store goggles. Just get a good pair of goggles that works for you. So now level. What you don't want to be doing, you don't want to be blowing the bubbles when you're straight up like this. This way, because the bubbles will hit your nose and it doesn't work. You want to be blowing your bubbles when you're completely flat and parallel to the surface of the water. And when you're blowing the bubbles up, they're blown evenly and it looks really cool going up. Now also you do need, when you're plugging your nose, you're not really going to have a way to stay under the water because your lungs will bring you up to the top and you'll float. So you kind of want to kick with your legs to keep yourself under. Something that works great if you know breaststroke kick. That'll work good. You'll just be moving a little bit, which is fine. So just do some breaststroke kick and stay yourself under. Now, here are some tips and the technique on how you get a really nice bubble ring. So what you want to do is, I'm going to be showing you above water first so that it's a lot easier for you to see. So for my method, what you do is you make a sound like a P noise. So like, and it depends on how big you want the bubble to be, because if you make a louder P noise, it's going to be louder, and if you say it more quietly, it's going to be a smaller bubble. So what you do is you're going to look goofy doing this. You just have to be okay with that. So you kind of go like make a kissy face almost and go. So sideways it looks like. And you always want to be plugging your nose when you're doing this, because otherwise air can trickle out of your nose even when you think you're not breathing out, and it kind of messes up the bubbles and doesn't look quite as cool. So again, it's just like a P noise and you go. So now I'm going to be showing you the next method, but here's a few example clips of my method or Ned's method.
This is Ned Murphey. He's the dude who taught me how to blow bubbles.
Yeah, about like 5-ish years ago at swim practice, a friend of mine taught me how to do them, and it just kind of came natural to me, and the method's really easy. I think it's pretty simple, just the nose plug, blow the O's with the mouth, and then you're good.
That's why it's the Ned Murphy.
Thanks, Ned.
No problem, Finn.
One thing that helps me stay under the water is to lock my feet into a ladder, but make sure you can get your feet out and you don't get stuck. Alright, now I'm going to be showing you the next method of bubble blowing. This is a little bit harder of a method. A lot of people call it the Cody Miller because he's the one who really showed everyone how to do it and made it popular. So basically what you do is, instead of not sticking out your tongue or anything and just blowing the bubbles, you stick out your tongue like this, and then you blow out with your tongue. So it's going to look something like this. And when doing it above water, you're probably going to spit, so I wouldn't practice it too much. when you're out of the water. But what you do is you really, you're blowing out and then you put your tongue back in really fast and close your mouth, and it really makes a nice bubble form. These bubbles, in my opinion, are a little bit more fragile and they take more practice to get good at. So like, I like the Ned Murphy method, the first method that I showed you guys, because when there's other people swimming around you, the waves don't really disrupt it and you can do it in waters that are moving a bit more. For this method that I'm showing you right now, the water has to be a little bit more still, and they look better when you're deeper underwater as they come up and they're perfect all the way up. Now, remember to keep on practicing doing this. No matter what method you like, you can do it. Here are some of my younger friends from the pool doing it. Wow, those were some amazing bubbles, guys. You really got the hang of it.
Bubbles, Finn, that reminds me of a joke.
Oh, no.
What did the bubble say to the north wind?
I don't know, what?
Nothing, he was just blown away.
Oh boy, you and your jokes. Another thing that I do have to say, a lot of the kids in those videos did learn that exact day, so it is possible. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe down below and like. Thanks for watching. Bye!